Hey everyone! So today what I have for you, since I just did an update on my Accord, I'm going to do an update video for our 2009 Saab 9.3 convertible. This, as you guys know, is a 2.0T model. Pretty sure it's one of the more base models that was offered in this year, as the only options that it has are the heated seats and the automatic transmission. But at the same time, it's been an awesome car. It just rolled over 45,000 miles not too long ago. Still very low miles for an 09, and we plan to keep it that way, as it is a spare vehicle. But we've had this car for the last about 16 months or so, and I just want to go over the things that we like about it, things that we dislike, just updating you on how it's been treating us, so on and so forth. So I'll walk you guys around the exterior first. As you guys can see, this is a black exterior color. It looks great. It has very few imperfections on the vehicle. I think it's hard to tell for you guys, but there is a ding right at the belt line here. You might be able to see it a little bit to the right of that sun glare. There's a little ding, and unfortunately this is my fault. There is actually a very small dent in the bumper down here. Let's see if you guys can see it. Yeah, there it is. I accidentally backed into a friend of mine's car that was parked behind it when I was pulling out of the garage. But just a little dent, no one's sweating it. Overall, this car is flawless on the inside and out. Very few exterior dings, only those two that I mentioned. No scratches, no curb rash. The interior looks awesome too. It's definitely been well kept by us and by the people that had it before us. So I'll bring you all on inside. So, as you can see, this has the beige leather interior, power driver's seat on this side. Pop it inside. It's in great condition. It really is. The seat really is not showing any wear yet, which is awesome. Especially right here is where you usually start to see the wear on the bolsters from people getting in and getting out. The vehicle also recently had the driver's side seatbelt replaced and the driver's side airbag replaced as a part of a recall. The recall for the airbag was related to the Takata recall. Is that how you pronounce it? Basically, you know, the millions of vehicles that were recalled for defective airbag inflators. So I took this to our local Chevrolet, GMC, and Cadillac dealer and had them replace it along with the seatbelt recall. It was in there for about 3 hours, and it was completely free. Great service at Banks, Chevrolet, Cadillac, GMC, and Concord. So very good. Can't complain about them. Now, as you can see with the car, we are at 45,470 miles. Start it up. For Saab aficionados, you know that the ignition in these vehicles is in the center, which is a very unique feature. Reason for this being for safety, as if you are involved in a frontal accident in the vehicle, you don't want your knees going into the steering column and where the ignition would be, and in the keys. So that's why I moved it down here. So it's a little quirky, but you just turn it to the right, and the vehicle starts right up as it should. As you can see, it's pretty warm today, 86 degrees. Also, there's a little bit of pollen up here on the in front of the instrument cluster, because this usually sits in the garage with the top down. That trip meter on the right, that is all of the miles that we put on the vehicle since we purchased it in February of 2016. In 16 months, only about 4,000 miles, so this definitely does get used every so often, but not so much. Interior-wise, it's great. You have your typical GM head unit for the year. Not the prettiest, but stereo's pretty great. It works easy enough. 5-speed automatic transmission, or Centronic, I believe that Saab called it, with your manual shift modes. Works well enough. Might need the transmission fluid changed at some point. It is shifting a little bit rough, but nothing too alarming. Again, seats, very comfortable. Just want to go over now some of the likes and dislikes of the car. I actually asked my mother, as she's the primary driver of this, what she likes and what she dislikes. So she says, first and foremost, the seats, super comfy. That's what everyone says about Saabs. They just have the best feel. They're supportive, but they're like sitting on your living room couch, which is great. My mom and I drove this to Buffalo, New York from our house in New Hampshire. It's about an 8-hour drive one way, 500 miles, and super comfortable. We got over 30 miles per gallon. It's a great road trip car. Next, she was kind of disappointed, especially coming from her newer car, that this has, it's very lacking in technology, but it also is only a 2009. It does have Bluetooth hands-free audio, but you don't have any Bluetooth hands-free streaming of music, which is kind of a downside. You don't have a backup camera like her new 3 Series does, anything like that. But you just put the top down, you punch it with the turbo, and all of those worries go away. One little issue that we have had when it gets colder out is when you turn on the rear defroster, all the lights in the vehicle start to blink. The headlights do, all the lights on the inside. The radio haphazardly works, and there's a message that comes up on the dashboard that says that the convertible top is open, where it is clearly not. So there's definitely some electrical issue there. Not 100% sure why that is. But hopefully we can get down to the bottom of it. I think it has something to do with the battery or alternator issue, because when it's cold out, none of the steering wheel controls work, which is really odd. You can't control the volume of whatever you're listening to. You can't use the Bluetooth controls. It's very odd, but only when it's cold out, and then once the car warms up or it's in warm weather, everything works flawlessly. So I think it has something to do with that, but I'm also not a mechanic. So I think we'll get that checked out soon, most likely when the colder weather comes around, because it's not an issue now. Also, she really likes the colors, the black exterior with the tan interior. The tan interior is great simply because in a convertible, you don't want something hot, because you're going to be sitting out it on really hot days. That's the whole point of it, in the sun. It doesn't get baking like a black interior does, which is great. Additionally, she says it fits her well. She's 5'1". She's small, so she likes smaller vehicles, and Saabs have always fit her the best. And that it's a very solid vehicle, despite the fact that it is smaller. It weighs about 3,700, 3,800 pounds, but it has a very, very solid feel when you're going down the highway that rivals many German vehicles. It does feel like a tank. And one thing, I'll show you guys the engine real quick, as this is related to it. So this Saab has what was the base engine for the year. It has a 2-liter 4-cylinder Ecotec turbocharged, well, 4-cylinder as I said. Pretty clean here. Has 210 horsepower, and I believe it produces about 221 pound-feet of torque. And this has awesome mid-range punch, excuse me. So you're getting on the highway, you want to pass a truck or something, or you pass a slow vehicle, very, very quick to get up to speed. All of a sudden you can be going 80 miles an hour and you don't realize it. The one downside is that it doesn't really have a whole lot of power around town. It does suffer from a little bit of turbo lag, but it more than makes up for that once you're getting on the highway trying to pass someone. But that's what Saabs are known for. They are known for their mid-range power over anything. And this, especially being a 4-cylinder with only 210 horsepower, it doesn't suggest that it would have a lot of power, but it really does. I would like to get some larger wheels for the vehicle, some Saab OEM wheels, some 17-inch ones, just because I think they look a little bit better than this moving forward. We'll have to see if my mother, who's the primary driver of vehicles, on board for that. I think it would give it a much more elevated appearance. It would be the wheels that Saab used from 2006 and 2007 on the Aero sedans, coupes, and wagons. You guys know what those look like. I think those would look really well on here. And also get a wind deflector for the back seats, as there's no one ever in the back seat. It would also greatly reduce wind noise and just wind in your hair while you're driving on the highway. So all in all, this car has been really good for us in the 16 months that we've had it. We put about 4,000 miles on it. We've only changed the oil. Knock on wood, hopefully everything stays just as well as it has been for us, and that we'll have this car for many summers to come to enjoy, because it's truly fun, it's truly comfortable, and it's a very solid vehicle to be driving around in. If you guys have any questions about the Saab, please let me know. Please feel free to comment. Also like the video. I appreciate you guys watching. Have a great one.